Hi guys, and welcome to Escape We Watch Reviews. My name is Steve, and today we're going to be reviewing the Gorman DG8127. So I purchased this watch with earnings from this channel, so a huge thank you goes out to each and every one of you who have watched a video, used one of my links to purchase your watches. This review wouldn't be possible without you guys, so a huge thank you goes out to you guys. I really do appreciate the continued support. And if by the end of this review you do want to pick one of these up, I'm going to be leaving a link down in the video description. That is an affiliate link, so if you use that link, you're not paying any extra. It just earns me a little bit of commission. It helps keep watches like this coming into the channel. So the retail price I'm seeing is about $120 US. However, I did get a pretty decent sale on this watch after coupons and coins. I was able to get this down under $90 US. The watch comes in 3 different colorways that you can see on screen now. I was tempted by that all black version one, but something about this one just kind of spoke to me, and I really do like this colorway. The watch case is made of 316L stainless steel. It has a mineral crystal. It has a push-pull crown, a screwed-in case back, 50 meters of claimed water resistance, and the watch is powered by an in-house automatic movement reference JC2808, which we can talk about in a little bit more detail here coming up in the movement section. So this one came up on a recent post on Reddit asking about funky watches on AliExpress, and it piqued my interest just enough to pull the trigger on it. And you know what? For $90 US, it's not half bad. So I say we get into the full review. But before we do a quick wrist check today. Wearing a new watch dives. This is the 16500, I believe. It's their new racing chronograph 38 millimeters. Pretty cool watch. Review for this will be coming very soon. All right, so let's get into dimensions. Got a case diameter of 43 millimeters, case thickness of 16.7 millimeters, got a strap width of 25 millimeters. I'm going to say a lug to lug of 42.7 millimeters, and on the supplied rubber strap it weighs 99 grams. So it is not a small watch, pretty wide, but pretty short. You can see there's no real lug width to this thing. It's kind of an integrated strap, but the bracelet or the strap is 25 millimeters and then tapers from there. The overall length, I measured 57 at the shortest, but the strap is still pretty wide in that point, so your wrist doesn't have to be 57 millimeters. I think it wears fine for me. I definitely don't think this is a small wrist-friendly watch, but it definitely has some presence to it. Really nice and thick as well. But yeah, it's actually pretty comfortable to wear, and I haven't really minded this strap either. It's actually pretty decent. So yeah, I'm going to go outside right now and throw it on my wrist for you. Hey, here we are on my 7.5-inch wrist, and as you can see, it actually wears okay. It is not a small watch, but it actually doesn't wear too bad. I don't have any like unsightly gaps under the strap or anything like that. The crystal on this watch needs some anti-reflective coating. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit, but yeah, it's actually not bad. It definitely looks worse on camera than it does in person, so just something to note. But yeah, legibility is not this watch's strong suit. Just looking cool is, and I think it does a pretty good job with that. And here we are out in some direct sunlight, and there you can see the crystal. Definitely needs a little bit of help, especially on the actual clock dial, since that is glass or plastic. It reflects some light and gets a little bit washed out. But besides that, I think the finishing on the case looks pretty decent. The strap has actually been pretty comfortable. We'll talk about all these details a little bit more here. But yeah, I just wanted to show you out in the sun because I can't put any different straps on this one. Thankfully, this one is actually pretty decent. So yeah, let's go back inside and let's get back to this review. So talking about the case finishing, there is a couple different finishes going on here. So we do have a nice polished bezel there. It's kind of a rounded bezel. It looks really nice. On the top of the case here, we do have a radial brushing. So it's kind of from the middle and it kind of radiates out. Brushing seems to be okay. It's not the best brushing. You can kind of see, maybe you guys can't even see it. I noticed something in this corner here where it just wasn't consistent with the rest of the watch. But it's very, very minor. The case does have like a dark tinge to it. It's not a normal stainless steel case like this is. So there's definitely like a PVD coating going on it or something like that. But I think they did a pretty good job with it. Honestly, I was quite surprised. Flipping it to the sides here, you can see there's kind of this bead blasted area in between these two polished flanks. The polishing looks to be done very nicely. I've got no issues there. I was expecting there to be like sharp edges on this. There's no sharp edges on it. The crown feels good. It's kind of this tapered crown, really easy to get out, pop it out and manipulate the time. No issues with that. Same thing on the side over here. Pretty nicely done. I was quite pleasantly surprised. I was expecting a little bit of rough edging here and there, but it's actually pretty good. Flipping it over to the case back here, we do have a mineral case back displaying off the movement there. You can kind of see the DG Daniel Gorman logo there. We do have kind of a skeletonized rotor as well. It's a decent looking movement. There's zero decoration to it at all. I mean, it's very, very, it's simple brushing. There's no, striping or perlage or anything like that. We do have some blue screws here, which look pretty good, but other than that, it looks pretty basic. The finishing on that gear right there looks really, really rough, though. I will say that. It looks really rough, but other than that, it's fine. It's got 4 screws holding it on, 50 meters of claimed water resistance there. It does say all stainless steel and Daniel Gorman. So, and again, nothing under here is sharp. So, just kind of slides on the wrist and feels pretty darn good. So, case finishing wise, I can't really complain. It's actually pretty nicely done, pleasantly surprised by it. All right, so let's talk about the crystal on the watch. So you guys have already seen it reflecting like crazy. It is a pretty tall double dome mineral crystal, as you can see there. So sadly, it's not sapphire. I don't believe there's any AR coating on it. Mineral crystal is less reflective than sapphire, so it's not as big of a deal that it doesn't have AR coating on it, but you can definitely see where having some AR would come in handy, especially on a watch with a really cool dial like this. You kind of want to see some anti-reflective coating on this. If they had a really nice, double dome with lots of AR coating, I think this would look a whole lot better, but that's just not the case, sadly. So the crystal, a little bit of a letdown to me, in my opinion, but all right, so let's talk about the dial. So the dial is really interesting on this watch. It's got a lot of different layers on it. You can see the balance wheel down here spinning along with the nice bridge. That looks pretty cool, held in with 2 blue screws. We have a heart steel, it says there, and then it has the DG design, Daniel Gorman design. It says 50 meters water resistant and automatic there. Those are all on like little brushed plates. Those look pretty good. It actually looks pretty good, and there does seem to be a little bit of polishing, maybe polishing, or just a slightly finer brushing on that. You can see kind of reflecting the light on this little bridge here I'm talking about. And then around the actual dial itself, around the clock here, you can see we got another brushed ring, got some polishing on it. I think it looks pretty good. It looks like there's a piece of glass or plastic, clear plastic, and then the indices are printed on top of that. So it's actually pretty interesting, pretty cool to look at. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but I'm trying to show you guys. There was a big fingerprint on that plastic or glass on the time dial there. A little bit disappointed with that, but otherwise I don't see any other fingerprints or anything like that. Again, the finishing is not super high end, but it does look good from a distance, and you can see here just how deep the the dial goes. It's kind of cool that it has so much depth to it. I do think, Daniel Gorman design-wise did pull this off a little bit better than some other watches. I do believe this is an homage. I just don't remember what it's to. A Moser, maybe? I can't remember. There is a little bit of lume on that clock there. I'm going to pop up a little bit of a lume shot here. The lume on this watch is pretty terrible. I would not buy this for the lume. You're not going to be able to rely on it at all. It just makes the time a little bit easier to tell during the daytime because it's pretty much useless at night. So the movement inside is the self-research movement JC2808. I don't know anything about this. I don't know if it's derived from anything. I don't know if it's like a customized Hangzhou movement. I don't know anything about this other than the stats that I'm about to tell you. So 26,600 beats per hour. It does say 40 hours of power reserve. It does not hack, as you can see here. It does have hand winding. The hand winding is very audible. I'm hoping you guys can hear that. Very clicky, very tactile. I actually really like it. The ticking is not super loud either, so you don't have to worry about that. So the rotor inside, it is not a single directional, so it is bidirectional winding, so it doesn't spin around or anything like that. So that's nice. The winding is nice and quiet, and it's actually been okay as far as accuracy. So here's how it has been running for me. Yeah, not too bad as far as accuracy goes, but you can see there's a pretty big discrepancy in the beat error. You want to see those two lines of dots pretty close to each other. This one is pretty far apart. I don't really know what that means as far as the health or anything like that goes, but I've had other movements that have not had good beat errors, and they've been running fine for me for a year. So I don't think it's anything to really worry about, but the accuracy is actually pretty decent on this one. The movement is operated just like you would expect. Push-pull crown here, pull it out, you get a nice solid pull out there, and then you can just rotate the hands around, set them exactly where you need to go. There's no markings on that dial or anything, so time telling and time setting is not very precise on this one, so you don't really miss the hacking seconds there anyway. But yeah, it just functions exactly like you would expect it to. All right, so let's talk about the strap on the watch. And the strap on a watch like this is very, very important, right? You're not going to be able to swap this out for anything, so you got to hope that the original strap is good, it's going to last a while, and it's comfortable, right? So I'm here to tell you, it's actually pretty darn good. I believe it's just a silicone strap. They don't say it's FKM. It doesn't really feel like FKM. It's a little bit of a lighter density, so a fairly light strap, I'll say, but pretty nice. You can see here, it's curved. It's held in with some screws there, as you can see. 25 millimeters, it tapers down to 20 millimeters at the buckle. So it is a big strap. You got some nice kind of decoration on the outside there. Doesn't seem to be picking up lint or dirt or anything like that, so that's good. It's a good length. You have two floating keepers here. One of them is kind of held in place there, but still could be floating if you needed it to. It's actually pretty darn good. And the buckle on the watch, the buckle is probably my favorite part of this thing. It's really an interesting buckle and nicely done. You can see here it's got some skeletonization to it. It matches the case. It's signed there. It's a nice sturdy buckle, and it has a very nice little cutout in it, so the strap and the buckle kind of sits nice and flat to the strap, as you can see there. So it's just a really good buckle. I like it. I was kind of surprised by the whole package. It's been comfortable, and I think it looks good, and being silicone, it's probably going to last for a really long time. It's probably going to outlast the watch itself. So I do like the strap. I think it looks good. I think it's comfortable. Really no complaints with it. So there you go, guys. That's the Daniel Gorman DG8127. If you guys are interested in this, I'll be leaving a link down in the video description. A really interesting and funky watch got brought up on Reddit, and it is definitely interesting and funky. Pretty cool that it's an automatic movement, and it's actually keeping good time. It has a comfortable strap. I think the case is done very nicely. I think the movement and the dial setup and layout looks pretty good. It's cheap. It's just not as bad as I was expecting it to be. So, pleasantly surprised with this one. So if you're kind of in the market for something that's kind of funky like this, I could definitely suggest this one. Just go in, knowing the shortcomings. I think the biggest one is the crystal on the watch, and the level of finishing on the movement and the dial, I'd like to see enhanced a little bit, but for $90 in a watch like this, you can't really expect too much, right? Other than that, though, pretty darn happy with this one. I think that's it for me. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you in the next one.